Ladies and gentlemen, friends and viewers, good day. Today I'm going to tell you about the novel of Ivan Turgenev, Fathers and Sons. This is one of the famous Russian novel, and in this novel, this theory of nihilism has been discussed first time in history. Ivan Turgenev's he was of wealthy parents, born in a city of Oryol, central Russia, on October 28, 1880. He spent most of his childhood on the family estate under the instruction of tutor until he enrolled at University of Moscow, 1833. Turgenev traveled for some time in Europe, especially Germany, and chiefly studied philosophy. So he spent a very busy life throughout, and he had written many novels. The Smoke on the Eve, Virgin Soil. He died in France in 1883. So the character involved in this novel, there are many characters. The principal character are Nikolai Petrovich Kirsanov, the small landowner in a rural part of Russia who has attempted to keep up with modern ideas. Arkady Nikolaevich Kirsanov, his son, who has been studying in St. Petersburg, who has been come under the influence of new philosophy called nihilism. Pavel Petrovich Kirsanov, Nikolai's brother, who believes strongly in preserving the aristocratic mode of life. Fenchika, Nikolai's housekeeper, the mother of his young son, and eventually his wife. She is almost referred to by her nickname Fenchika. Mitya, Nikolai and Fenchika's young son, Yevgeny Vasilievich Bazarov, friend of Arkady, who professed philosophy of nihilism. Viktor Sintinikov, an acquaintance of Bazarov, who tries to attach himself to popular causes. Vyodotia Nesnoja Korshiva, friend of Stikhanov. Anna Sergeyevna Odensova, Catherine Loktia, Vasily Ivanovich Bazarov, Irina Valisvina Bazarov, Princess Adoita Stefanova, Matvey Ilyich Kolyazin, Porfiry Petrovich, Father Alexei Prokofyevich, Pyotr. These are the characters involved in this. So let us talk about this novel. Arkady Kirsanov has just graduated from the University of Petersburg and returned with a friend. Bazarov to his friend's modest estate in outlying province of Russia. The father gladly received the two young men at his estate called Marino, but Nikolai's brother Pavel soon be upset by the strange new philosophy called nihilism, which the young man advocate. Nikolai feels awkward with his son at home, partially because Arkady's view did his own belief, and partially because he has taken a servant, Fenchika, into his house to live with him, and has already had a son by her. The two young men remain at Marino for a short time, then decide to visit a relative of Arkady in a neighboring province. There they observe the local gentry and meet Madame Odintsova, an elegant woman of independent means, who invites them to spend a few days at her estate's Nikolaevskoe. At Nikolaevskoe, they also meet Katya, Madame Odintsova's sister, who attracts Arkady. They remain for a short period, and Bazarov is more and more drawn toward Madame Odintsova until he finally announces that he loves her. She does not respond to his declaration, and soon after, Arkady and Bazarov leave for Bazarov's home. At Bazarov's home, they are received enthusiastically by his parents. Bazarov is still disturbed by his rejection and is difficult to get along with. He almost comes to blows with his friend Arkady. After a brief stay, they decided to return to Marino and circle by to see Madame Odensova, who received them coolly. They leave almost immediately and return to Arkady home. Arkady remains for a few days and makes an excuse to leave in order to see Katya. Bazarov stays at Marino to do some scientific research, and tension between him and Pavel increases. Bazarov enjoys talking with Fenchika and playing with her child, and one day gives her a quick, harmless kiss, which is observed by Pavel. The older man feels it is his duty to defend his brother's honor, and he challenges Bazarov to a duel. Pavel is wounded slightly, and Bazarov must leave Marino. He stops an hour or so at Madame Odensova, then continues on to his parents' home. Meanwhile, Arkady and Katya have fallen in love and have become engaged. At home, Bazarov cannot keep his mind on his work, and while performing an autopsy, fails to take the proper precaution. He contracts typhus, and on his deathbed, he sent for Madame Odensova, who arrives in time to hear Bazarov tell her how beautiful she is. Arkady marries Katya and takes over the management